Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel here in Appalachia. It's a beautiful Sunday, blue skies. Been doing a lot of landscaping again. Just wears the body out. Moving a couple 3 tons of pea gravel the last 2 days, one wheelbarrow at a time. It's quite the workout. But I wanted to follow up on yesterday's talk about finding strength in negative emotions. There's two things that came to mind. Excuse me. It's two things that came to mind about that. One was to make clear that we're not talking about that the concept known as spiritual bypassing. So if we can take two perspectives of one event, we're not choosing the one perspective as the perspective because it makes us feel good. Okay? Because we do have the ability to rationalize things as humans, to kind of fit our own personal narrative. We don't want to do that. We want to be honest with ourselves. We don't know all the answers, but we can explore the perspectives. And try to look at it from a detached point of view. The other thought that came to mind as I have looked back on life is the idea that there are many times in our life where we are overwhelmed with emotion, and these emotions come out at, let's say, not in the best way, and usually at inopportune times. What we are not taught, and it's something that I've asked about to get guidance on, is that often when there's actually two elements to this. When our emotions are flowing and someone, and let's say for example, someone is acting out in a very powerful way, um, whether they're mad or depressed or agitated or yelling, whatever it is. Someone taught me about 15 years ago that when that happens, it's usually not caused by what is happening in that moment, but it's caused by something else. The moment that it happens is just the trigger, and the trigger that might cause us to explode. The breaking point, the video I did on breaking point that shatters integrity, those moments where the emotions take over and we lose control at that moment. But the other element to this, which is something that I have searched inside myself about, is that there are times when we act in ways that we don't understand because our soul or you could think about your spirit, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it our soul is crying for help. Our soul is trying to communicate something to us, but because we're detached from it, we can't hear it, feel it, understand it. And when I've looked back on life, I can identify times when my soul was crying for help. My soul was trying to communicate something to me, but I wasn't able to hear it. And it's something we're not taught this, when we go through this existence here in this modern world, and it's all its materialism, where we don't take our children and teach them about their connection with their soul, their spirit, their higher self, and to listen to their inner voice, so that when that inner voice is crying out, saying maybe this situation is wrong, or the way you're handling this situation is wrong, you need to do something. Okay, whatever it is, there's an infinite number of possibilities in this conversation. Um, but I have identified numerous times in my life when my soul, excuse me, it's summertime in Appalachia, all the no-see-ums, but I have identified numerous times in my life when my soul was screaming, trying to get my attention, and I missed it. And I missed it sometimes in a very bad way. So, what can we do? Well, again, it just comes back to some very profound basics of taking time every day, whether it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, to just tap into ourselves, have a conversation with ourselves, with parts of ourselves. And this has become a big part, excuse me, the no-see-ums are getting me on here. This has become a big part of the recent Healing the Divine Masculine series, about having a conversation with ourselves, having a conversation with our organs, having a conversation with our emotions, which is going to be in part 9, which is coming out soon. Just asking the question, what are you trying to communicate to me? You could do that with a pain. If you have, like, I have this pain in my shoulder right here. This, you could call it repetitive injury, right? Baseball, bowling, summertime, wintertime. That's what we did. Summertime, wintertime. It was just, it's all about this right shoulder for me. I'm just so right-handed. And, but what is this pain? Is this pain trying to tell me something? We can have that conversation with certain things. Do you need something different? Do I need to release something? With my shoulders, for example, I have sometimes a pain in the little ligament or tendon that's right up here, the bursa, it's called. That's why we get. That's where we get bursitis. That's when this tears, and you get a separated shoulder and stuff. And I have this pain up in here sometimes, you know, and it might be just trying to tell me to take it easy, be gentle. It also could be telling me to stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. That's a big one too. Stop trying to carry whatever your world is. Okay, my world currently, Monday through Friday, is working with this team from India and supporting this company in Chicago. And I have had to learn over the last year to accept certain things the way they are and not try to carry the weight of that world on my shoulders, as I have done in the past with other projects and other places where I have worked. I've had many projects where I have literally carried them on my shoulders. And if we're not careful with that, the shoulders, in this example, will try to communicate to us that we have to let go. We have to surrender. We have to let go of that weight. Okay? Because in the end, what happens in this corporation and is just a nit in the grand scheme of things. It's really not all that important in the grand scheme of things. But it's important at the moment because it provides certain things for myself and my teammates, income, safety, certain challenges which are fun and certain challenges which are necessary. But we have to be very careful about how much we take on because we're going to lodge that somewhere in the body. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I like to spend time out here amongst the trees and the birds and the squirrels and whatever else is out here. To ground myself every day. And to listen in the silence. As the saying goes, only in the silence can you hear the whisper of God. We need to learn to be silent and listen to those messages from our soul. What does it want? What does it need? What is it trying to communicate to us? Ask the question and then go silent and listen for the answer. And it will be for many of you, it will be very faint. Only in the silence can you hear the whisper of God, which means not only is the outer world got to be silent, but so does the inner world. Okay? Got a lot of birds out here. I hope you can hear them. They make some amazing sounds in the morning. I got a blue jay that's hanging around all the time now. He's always right along here. But yeah, it's a lot of fun listening to Mother Nature. What she's trying to communicate to us. All right. Go forth, have a wonderful week. Tap into yourself every once in a while. Make it a point to just stop and ask, is there anything that I need to know right now? See what happens. All right? So until next time, cosmic energy, earth energy, heart energy. Send loving heart energy out to all beings, all dimensions, all timelines, all realities. May this day be filled with passion, loving kindness, and courage. See you next week.